Could gravity be a myth as flat earthers claim? Let's delve into this. Gravity, as we understand it, is a force that pulls objects towards the center of mass. In the case of our planet, this force pulls everything towards the Earth's core, which is at the very center of its mass. This is perfectly consistent with a spherical Earth. Now, some flat Earth proponents argue that objects don't fall because of gravity, but due to differences in density. It's an interesting thought, but it's not one that holds up under scientific scrutiny. You see, if it were just about density, objects would fall in the direction of denser matter, not necessarily towards the center of the Earth. But what we observe in nature is that objects consistently fall towards the Earth's center, regardless of where denser matter may be. This observation supports the concept of gravity over the density argument. So, gravity, a well-established force, provides a strong argument for a spherical Earth. Does the horizon always rise to eye level, as flat earthers suggest? This statement is a common claim made by those who advocate for a flat Earth. But let's delve into the science behind our horizon. The horizon's curvature is a fascinating phenomenon. When we watch a ship sail away, it seems to disappear bottom first over the horizon, a sight that aligns perfectly with the concept of a spherical Earth. If you've ever been lucky enough to take a high-altitude flight, you've probably noticed the gentle curve of the Earth against the backdrop of the infinite cosmos. Flat earthers argue that the horizon always rises to eye level, implying a flat surface. However, this is a misinterpretation. The horizon appears at eye level due to the sheer enormity of our planet. Observations from different altitudes from a hilltop or a skyscraper offer a clear view of the Earth's curvature. So it's not about the horizon rising, it's about understanding our perspective. Observations from varying altitudes clearly reveal the Earth's curvature. Is the round shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse not evidence of Earth's shape? This question often stirs up a debate. During a lunar eclipse, our planet casts a shadow on the moon. Not a square, not a triangle, but a round shadow. This round shadow is a direct visual manifestation of Earth's spherical shape. However, some flat Earth proponents argue that this shadow doesn't prove anything about Earth's shape. They say it could be caused by something else, something we haven't discovered yet. But let's stick to the facts and what we know. The Earth's round shadow aligns perfectly with what we'd expect if it were indeed an oblate spheroid. It's consistent, it's predictable, and it's observable by anyone during the time of a lunar eclipse. So, when we piece together these observations, what does it tell us? Quite simply, lunar eclipses provide direct visual evidence of a spherical Earth. Are satellite images of a round Earth manipulated or fake? Now that's a question that's been raised by flat Earth proponents. Satellite images time and again showcase a round Earth. These images are consistent, showing our planet as an oblate spheroid, a shape akin to a squashed ball, slightly wider at the equator. Flat Earth supporters, however, argue that these images could be manipulated or even entirely fabricated. But let's pause and consider this. We have multiple independent space agencies across the globe, each providing its own satellite images. Are they all in cahoots, faking these images? Seems unlikely, doesn't it? Furthermore, we have amateur astronomers and enthusiasts launching their own satellites and high-altitude balloons. These independent endeavors, free from governmental influence, also capture the Earth's curvature. In the face of such diverse and independent evidence, the claim that all satellite images are manipulated becomes implausible. Satellite imagery globally confirms the Earth's curvature. Can flight paths and time zones be explained on a flat Earth? Let's delve into the fascinating world of aviation and timekeeping. Airplanes, when they fly from one city to another, don't just take a straight-line path. They follow what's known as Great Circle routes. These are the shortest possible paths between 2 points on a sphere. It's like cutting a globe along an imaginary line to get from point A to point B in the quickest way. If you've ever looked at a long-haul flight path on a globe, you'll notice it often looks like an arch, not a straight line. Flat Earth proponents argue that flight paths can be explained on a flat Earth map, but here's the catch. Great Circle routes are consistently shorter on a globe. This explains why pilots fly polar routes for long-haul flights, like from New York to Beijing. On a flat map, these routes seem longer, but on a spherical Earth, they are the shortest and most fuel-efficient. Time zones, too, are a compelling argument for a spherical Earth. As the Earth rotates, different parts of the world experience daylight and darkness, creating time zones. It's daytime in London while it's nighttime in Sydney, and that's because the Earth is a spinning sphere. Flat Earth believers claim that time zones can be explained on a flat Earth, but the rotation of the Earth and the changing angle of sunlight throughout the day provide a more consistent explanation. A flat Earth would not have the gradual transition from day to night, or the variation in daylight hours as we move from the equator to the poles. In essence, the way we fly around the world and the existence of time zones are firmly rooted in the reality of a spherical Earth. The shortest flight paths and the cycle of day and night across different regions of the world all point to one conclusion. Flight paths and time zones provide consistent evidence for a spherical Earth. Is circumnavigation possible on a flat Earth? Let's delve into this. The ability to travel in one direction only to return to your starting point is a compelling testament to our planet's spherical nature. Imagine standing at the North Pole and walking due south until you reach the South Pole. If you continue moving in the same direction, you will eventually find yourself back at the North Pole. Now, some flat Earth advocates argue that circumnavigation is feasible on a flat Earth. They suggest that pilots and sailors are merely moving in a large circle around the North Pole. However, this explanation falls short when considering the paths of longitude. On a globe, these lines converge at the poles, allowing for consistent and logical circumnavigation. On a flat Earth, these lines would have to be distorted, making the journey longer and more complex. Thus, circumnavigation provides strong evidence for a spherical Earth. So, is the Earth actually flat? Well, we've journeyed through centuries of scientific evidence and the consensus is clear. The force of gravity, consistent across our planet, pulls objects towards the center of mass, a phenomenon only possible on a spherical body. We've observed the curvature of the horizon, watched ships disappear over its edge, and seen our planet's round shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse. Satellite imagery independently verified shows a round Earth from space. Airplane flight paths make sense only on a sphere, following the shortest routes between 2 points. The existence of time zones, varying daylight across regions, and the ability to circumnavigate the globe by traveling in one direction all point towards a spherical Earth. Flat Earth claims, lacking empirical support, often stem from misconceptions or misinterpretations. The scientific consensus, backed by centuries of research and observation, firmly establishes the Earth's shape as an oblate spheroid.